I'm the grocery category manager for the Willy Street Co-op. What that involves is groceries made up of bulk, dairy, frozen, and packaged, as well as beer and wine. So I am in charge of the 4 Ps for grocery, which is product, the product we carry, the placement, that is where it is in the store or where it is on the shelf, pricing of it, and the promotion of it. So either through a sale or some kind of feature on the item or a demo.
So talk to me, Dean, run me through what it takes then in preparation for North. What does that exactly mean for what you do? Sort of walk me through that process.
Sure. And North would be a completely different beast than West. Basically, the whole idea with West was that we would take what we had at East and replicate it to the best of our ability, maybe add a few new things, but for the most part, since the square foot and the layout of the store was roughly the same, we would just duplicate it. Pretty easy, right?
Like cutting and pasting when you're working on a document.
Exactly, just like cutting and pasting. Now, North is a whole different beast. North is twice the size of East or West square footage. So East or West, East about 9,500 square feet, West is maybe 96, so they're about the same size, about 10,000 square feet. North is going to be 19,500 square feet, so it's twice as big, basically, as either of our other 2 stores. Or you could take our 2 stores and put them in there together. That would be another way to look at it. So, a lot more space, right? The idea behind the store is not necessarily to fill up all that space, because you want to have good traffic flow. You want to have good flow through it. So the process for North is fun because we're adding, to suit the neighborhood, which is very mixed, we're adding a lot more conventional items. So those are a little bit different for me because it's not necessarily the world I live in. You know, I mean, obviously there's conventional food all around me. It is the world I live in, but it's not where I've spent my headspace or my professional career in food. It's been in natural and organic.
So when you're talking about conventional goods then, Dean, what's that like, walking that fine line between making the store available and have products for everybody in the neighborhood, yet holding to our line of it being sustainable, natural, organic, and local? And
really good question, and super challenging for me to try to make that work. I've done lots of investigating around brands and manufacturers around what their standards are. A lot of the old manufacturers are now saying, hey, we're going to label our stuff as, containing GMOs. There's also the non-GMO project, which is like an independent group that helps companies certify their stuff as having no GMO ingredients. In this case, it's nice to see the bigger companies labeling their stuff. So that's one area. The other major important areas for me is palm oil. A lot of the bigger commercial companies are sourcing palm oil, and it's not always sustainable because it's often dumped together in mass, and it's really hard to trace back to exactly where it originated. When you go and you look at their corporate websites, they have some good statements on what they're doing. So if they're really, really kind of progressing towards something that we would like them to aspire to, and we would hope that they would do, because that's what the natural companies would do and organic companies, these are kind of the first 2 kind of points for me of differentiation in the commercial goods, right? This company is differentiating themselves from the other conventional company because they're going to do this finally. After all this, hustle and bustle about, oh, we're not going to do that, and all the arguments, it's finally come to fruition.
so you got to add another P to your 4 Ps, and that's private eye.
Private eye, exactly. And it's really a lot of what I do. You have to do a lot of investigative work. You have to go into looking at companies' websites, and it takes a lot of time. I'm really trying to do it right because I want to set it up so when someone comes back to me who's an owner, who maybe has been with us for a long time as a core shopper, and they say, hey, why did you bring this commercial product in? I didn't think we did this kind of thing. I can give them an honest answer. And and be like, hey, this is why. Here's the investigation I did. This is what led me to the spot I am. If you disagree, I respect that. But this is how I got to where I am. Where I am. This is how we got to carrying this. And try to make it a thoughtful process that people can understand and that's transparent.